Are you wasting your time in Disney World?
We're gonna see how much you can get done without all that running around. Or is it even possible?
I don't know, I'm nervous.
And break!
Oh, okay.
Ow!
I thought you meant cut.
No! We spend a lot of time making videos to show you how to get the most out of your Disney World trip. To do so, we often zigzag and run around the parks to make sure we're making the most of our time. Sometimes racking up almost 30,000 steps in a day. But that's not always realistic for families coming to the parks who may not be able or want to run around all day. You asked for it, and now we're gonna see how much you can get done without all that running around and see if we're actually wasting time in Disney World. I'm gonna do all the zigzagging because typically with experiments, you have one constant and the other things change around you. We are that constant. I'm gonna do the zigzagging, and
I'm gonna go land by land, in a way.
Where should we start?
I'm gonna start here, at Spaceship Earth, beginning.
Beginning? I was gonna do the same thing.
Well, we can start, I mean, what's the harm?
What's the harm?
Come on, friend.
Okay. Spaceship Earth is a Omni-movie
mover starring Judi Dench.
Spaceship Earth is an Omni-mover attraction that takes you through the history of life, basically. The history of Earth itself. Starting all the way from like dinosaurs and mammoths to present day and how technology has evolved with us. Now typically we say to avoid Spaceship Earth first thing because it's always gonna have a low wait time, but today's kind of an easy day at Epcot.
It feels good, but I don't want to jinx either of us, so I'm not going to say that actually. Also, so I take it back.
Yes, and also we both have Genie Plus and Lightning Lanes. We actually have some time before, and in my world, the individual Lightning Lane, which we'll talk about in a second. So we're going to be friends and ride Spaceship Earth.
Our native language.
How dare you?
Please remain seated. We'll resume our journey shortly. Thank you.
This has been on and off for the past 15 minutes, and we've got so much left of the ride to go. That was the longest Spaceship Earth ride ever.
Yeah, I'm surprised they did not kick us off, to be totally honest.
Same. Okay, you're going that way?
I think I'm going to start on the other side.
So World Nature?
World Nature.
I'm going World Discovery.
I'll see you. I hope you discover something good over there.
And I hope you learn about agriculture.
Probably not.
Same.
See you later.
Bye.
Okay, friends, here we go. We are starting on the other side. We're going to start in World Nature. I'm kind of walking a little bit of a loop. I didn't really think this through. I just wanted us to try to go opposite sides and see if that would impact us at all. Because again, this is really just kind of an experiment to see how things go. I do have 2 lightning lanes. One is for Remy over in France. So hopefully I'll make it to that one in time. I can adjust it, which I plan on doing. And then I just grabbed one for 4 o'clock, Frozen. And then I also grabbed a Cosmic Rewind individual lightning lane, which is still within our time. Which is going to be like right towards the end of our like allotted time that we have today. If you saw this challenge over in Magic Kingdom, I was not able to grab the individual lightning lane for Mine Train because Genie glitched really hard the day we were doing that experiment, and they weren't available for our allotted time once I needed it. So I went ahead and grabbed the Cosmic Rewind one today. Hopefully everything will pan out. I'm not entirely sure, but I feel confident, and it is a slower day here at Epcot, so hopefully this will be more indicative of what it's like when you're here and what's possible. Okay, first I'm here and I'm gonna start at the Seas with Nemo and Friends. This is a slow moving dark ride that takes you through kind of a similar story to Nemo, except Nemo's missing again. So Marlin and Dory have to go back and find him. This one's cute, not a must do, 5-minute wait, so we'll happily walk on.
We recently just did this at Magic Kingdom, and I will say both parties, both myself and Emma, we ran into some snags, zigzagging. When you saw posted wait time on the My Disney Experience app, you head to that ride, and by the time you actually get there, it could have shot up by 30-40 minutes. For Emma, waiting in super long wait times in the middle of the day just because she still had to complete that land, I mean, that's not super time conducive. So we're curious to see how Epcot will be different First things first, Epcot does not have as many attractions as Magic Kingdom. In fact, no park has as many attractions as Magic Kingdom. Now, earlier today, I did purchase the individual lightning lane for Cosmic Rewind. Cosmic Rewind is a Guardians of the Galaxy themed coaster attraction. How I always describe it is a mashup between Space Mountain, Rock and Roller Coaster, and the ride vehicle from Escape from Green Gots in Universal Studios. There's a full backwards launch, lots of really cool LED screens around you, and rotating songs depending on when you ride. And it is time to get cosmic? Is that a thing? Yeah. Glenn Close, where are you at? There she is.
Okay, just finished with Nemo. It's really cute. It's definitely not a must-do in my opinion because it's just, with all of the rides comparatively, it's just not as high on our priority list, but it's tons of fun, and especially if your kiddos love Nemo, it's just really cute. Now we're gonna head over to land because what else do we gotta do? We gotta stay, you know, here in our lands. So it's naturally the right place to go. I'm super excited because at the time of filming, Soarin' is actually Soarin' over California and not Soarin' around the world, which is kind of a different take on Soarin'. It is my favorite. I remember as a kid in Disneyland. I absolutely love it. And it's here for Disney's 100th anniversary, and I'm excited I get to do it today. Now, if you've never been in the Land Pavilion, there are actually several things down here. So there is the Awesome Planet show, which is really cute, narrated by Ty Burrell. There is Garden Grill Restaurant, which Breed Levin and I actually just went to, and you can see the full review on the channel. There is Living with the Land, which we're about to hop on. And there's even Sunshine Seasons, which is a really great quick service. So lots of things down through here, not just these two rides. Definitely keep your eyes peeled when you're coming through. So we're gonna head on Living with the Land. This is a slow-moving boat ride that teaches you all about Disney's different agricultural practices and how they kind of take really special care into what they service and their impact on the environment through their agricultural practices. It sounds a little boring, but it's actually really, really fun and kind of Epcot-y.
Cosmic Rewind is just, it's still, I think, one of the best coaster attraction in Disney World. The best thrill attraction in Disney World, I would say. The best storytelling attraction. There's Rise of the Resistance, I would say, is the best storytelling attraction, but as far as thrills go, it's so good. You just never, like, it's that thing where they say never let them know your next move. That's Cosmic Rewind, so good. Typically we recommend grabbing the lightning lane for Remy's Ratatouille Adventure or Test Track because those are typically the ones that are going to book up the quickest. But I actually just didn't think I was going to get a chance to ride Remy's based on my itinerary today. But surprisingly, at the last second, I was able to get a fairly recent Remy's Ratatouille, so we're all in the clear there. But my first lightning lane was Frozen Ever After. Was for 1:15. It is now 2 o'clock, which means I only have really 15 minutes and then plus a grace period, so I was a little nervous. I'm definitely gonna make it because Norway's right in front of me, but there was a small moment while I was in line for Cosmic Rewind where I was like, oh no, this might be a bad situation. So try and time things out better than I am today. Remy's Frozen Ever After and Test Track are the first couple attractions that are probably going to, I guess, sell out of Lightning Lanes, so I tried to grab those first. But the issue with that is that each of them are very, very far away. We're talking one side of World Showcase, another side of World Showcase, front of park. And we made it to Norway, here in the World Showcase, to ride Frozen Ever After. Frozen Ever After is a slow-moving boat ride that takes place right after the Frozen movies end. So basically, Elsa has just thawed, Arendelle, Anna and Kristoff have found true love, Olaf is around to stay, and now Elsa has invited everyone up to their ice palace to celebrate. Be aware that you may have to scan in twice for some attractions. If this queue looks familiar to you at all, it's because this attraction was formerly Maelstrom, which was a Nordic-inspired boat ride with Vikings and trolls. Speaking of Maelstrom, you should watch the Clue episode we just put out. There may have been a murder in Disney World, and something to do with this attraction may. I don't want to give away too much, but you should probably go watch that.
Okay, just finished up on Living with the Land. It's so nice and relaxing, but we're not done in the land yet. We're gonna head over here to Soarin'. So again, this is Soarin' over California right now. It does have a 20-minute wait, and I don't have a Lightning Lane for it because I've been using my Lightning Lanes for some higher priority rides, like Frozen Ever After and Remy, but this one's only 20 minutes. I think it's very well worth it. And hopefully this will be our longest wait for the day. I'd be hard-pressed if it isn't. Now, if you've never been on Soarin', it is a flight simulation ride that takes you pretty high up. Traditionally, it takes you around the world, but this one right now for the 100th anniversary is taking you all through California. And spoiler alert, my favorite part is the orange groves. That smell lives in my brain. So very excited. I think I've said that 100 times because I truly, truly am. Epcot is celebrating the 100th anniversary. You can meet Mickey and Minnie in their special costumes right here. They have special treats. You can even see some decorations. And this is probably my favorite thing that they've done to celebrate. So here we go. Zigzagging again, headed all the way to France. I'm in Norway. That's, you can see that, literally on the other side of the World Showcase. Guess it's time for Remy's Ratatouille adventure. All right, well, no time like the present, let's go. I will be back for you, Grand Fiesta Tour, but I don't have time for you right now. I've only got 20 minutes until my Lightning Lane ends. Come on. We made it to the other side of the World Showcase. This is France. You can find some good eats in France. Really not talking about the food booth. I'm actually just talking about Les Halles Bakery, Monsieur Paul, the ice cream parlor all the way in the back with the warm brioche filled with ice cream. But we're skipping the food today. Going right to the back area. Oh, they've got crepes in the back too. Crepes are very good. Emma, Quincy, and I, we did eat everything in France for a video. That's a fun video. You should check that out. But we're going to the back for Remy's Ratatouille adventure. What a gorgeous view of the Skyliner. The blue sky. I feel a little bit like Doug from Up. Squirrel. It is currently a 55-minute wait. But luckily, I have my Lightning Lane.
Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is a Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is a trackless dark ride attraction. It is 3D, where you are shrunken down to the size of a mouse, and you're teaming up with Remy to create the perfect meal for your family, but obviously, they don't want rats in the kitchen, so chaos ensues.
Okay, just finished up. I absolutely love this so much. It's just so special and it's so nostalgic to me. When I was growing up, my uncle lived in California, which is why I was able to go to Disneyland a lot as a kid, even though I lived in Tennessee. And it just makes me think of special times with him and with my mom especially, and just having those really fun experiences. I love it. It's one that is absolutely a must-do, and even soaring around the world is a must-do. But this one's just extra special to me. We have one more ride before it's time for our lightning lane for Remy, which technically starts in about 5 minutes. I'm not super worried that we'll miss it, but let's just keep up the pace just in case. Now I'm going land by land, or world by world as you would say, and that's to kind of cut down on our steps, see how plausible it is that you can do this easily in one day without zigzagging the way that Sage is having to do. But if you're really curious about how to spend an entire day in each park and cut down on those steps, Breedlove has an incredible series up right now all about who can take the fewest steps and if he can, finish that challenge. It's so interesting. It's such a good series. Make sure to go check that out if you're looking how to make your days a little easier.
Always drop off your glasses. And then as a fun fact, as you're exiting Remy's, look at the ground, kind of get to normal size. You get the big tiles and then small tiles, because you're no longer shrunken down to the size of a mouse. Of a rat, if you will. Then you can take pictures of these bikes. And just like that, we're headed to World Nature, headed to the Land Pavilion, because we're soaring over California. Lightning lane just got called. I was able to modify and refresh my lightning lanes until I had a better time that was closer, and there was one that was 15 minutes away, based on the time that I was in line for Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and worked out in my favor. Now, am I riding a lot of things? Absolutely. Am I working up a sweat? Also yes, because I'm go from next thing to next thing. I am starving. I would have loved to gone into Mexico and gotten a beverage on the way to Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. That was just not on the cards right now. So let's keep trucking, because at some point it's gotta slow down, right?
Okay, next up, we are here at Journey into Imagination with Figment. This is an Epcot staple. This is a slow-moving dark ride where you are learning about the different senses, and then you kind of start to learn about the figment of your imagination, but he's a purple dragon. Things get a little crazy. This is an Epcot staple, although quite controversial on if people like it or not. For me, I'm kind of starting to like the Figment character in an ironic way, which is weird, but something I'm willing and open to. So we're gonna head inside, we're gonna learn all about our imagination, and then we're gonna head over to Remy. I felt really confident. I think Epcot is really easy to kind of do land by land compared to other parks, because it doesn't have as many major rides comparatively. So I feel confident, don't want to get my hopes too high, but this is a good experiment, and I think that this could be the best park for this particular experiment.
We have made it to the Land Pavilion. Now, the Land Pavilion is where you're going to find literally all things having to do with the land on planet Earth, whether it be agriculture, soaring over beautiful scenescapes, landscapes, and even how we can better protect the land with Awesome Planet. But right now, before we talk about anything else, let's go grab our lightning lane for Soarin'. Based on today's crowds, I think I'm going to be able to use lightning lane for everything, even if I need it or not. The only one I won't be able to use lightning lane for is Test Track. Luckily, they have a single rider line, so we'll be able to use that. But the lightning lanes for Test Track are already around 7, 8 o'clock. And our time actually stops at 5 o'clock. 4 hours, 1 to 5.
Okay, friends, great timing. Figment is cute. I also think it is not a must-do personally. Figment has gone through a lot of changes throughout the years. This is the 3rd version we've seen of Figment. It's the only one that I remember, and it's just not the best. That's why it's kind of controversial, but it's an Epcot classic. So if you've got the time, definitely do it, but don't freak out if this is one of the things that you miss on your trip. Now, our lightning lane for lovely Remy started like 5-ish minutes ago. So we're gonna head back that way. And then that's where we're gonna get stuck for a minute. And we'll talk about why in just a little while. Now we've talked about it a little bit today, but we are using Genie Plus. And if you don't know what that is, it is Disney's Skip the Line service. So they have 3 tiers for it. The first is the free tier, which is the Disney Genie. It gives you access to that tip board on the My Disney Experience app. Kind of gives you some recommendations, but overall it's just not the best feature. That second tier is going to be Disney Genie Plus. That is going to be anywhere from $15 to $35 per day per person. And that's gonna give you access to most of the lightning lanes in Disney World. Now the third tier is what's gonna help you get through the rest of those lightning lanes, and that is the individual lightning lane tier. That is an additional price per person per day for the biggest ride per park. So for Epcot, that is Cosmic Rewind, and we did have to pay an additional fee to skip the line there. However, in Magic Kingdom, they actually have 2, which is Tron and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
It's so funny. Like I wanted to do it first before I talked about it, but it brought back so much sense memory. Because obviously Soarin' Over California was before Soarin' Around the World. And it really just takes you over some, gorgeous views of California itself. And, you can tell the video is a little older, which is fine. I don't mind it because I was like, this is kind of nostalgic. But it even ends with that classic Disneyland shot with Tinkerbell over the train station, over the castle. So great. I believe it's only around for a limited time, so go check out Soarin' Over California while you can. But while we're here in the land, we can't leave without saying hello to this one. Living with the Land is a slow-moving boat ride that shows you different scenes, completely different scenes from farms to rainforests, and shows you how each of these different landscapes thrive within nature. And then it takes you into some actual Epcot greenhouses where they show you how they're trying to improve on agriculture and helping different farmers grow crops in a more sustainable way. What's really cool about this is that they're actually using some of the food in these greenhouses for some of their restaurants here at Epcot, including some of the festival booths.
All right, we are back here in the back of the Land Pavilion to check out Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. It's a really interesting ride where you kind of shrink down to the size of a rat and you and Remy go on some crazy adventures through the kitchen. It's really interesting. It is a 3D ride and it doesn't have a track. It's a completely trackless ride, so lots of new technology as well. I luckily have a lightning lane. However, it's only 25 minutes, which is really not bad for Remy at all, considering it was 60 when we first got here today.
You can even book a behind the scenes tour. I don't know if you saw that great the people in the greenhouse, but it's a greenhouse tour. I have never had the opportunity to do the behind the scenes tour, but I think that'd be super fun. I think you get a chance to taste some like herbs, and you get like an up close and personal look about how they actually grow these things. I think it'd be a trip. All right, we are knocking things out, and now we crisscross so much at the beginning of our day, we kind of don't need to anymore. I mean, really, we're doing the filler attractions. And what I mean by filler attractions, I mean the attraction that you fill your time with when you're waiting for the next like big e-ticket attraction. So we're gonna do the Seas with Nemo and Friends, and then we're gonna go do Journey into Imagination, and then we're gonna go to the other side of the park because we nailed it when we first arrived, and now we're golden. However, we do need to find something to eat. Next up is the Seas with Nemo and Friends, which is a dark ride attraction where you board a clamshell and you see a very small but cute retelling of Finding Nemo. I did randomly get a lightning lane for this just because I had one available, and everything is a really short wait right now, and I know I'm gonna wait in a single rider test track, so I'm just using my lightning lane. Lightning lane was super important for the beginning of my day, but not so important right now. But I'm just using it because I have it. And I walked a lot this morning, so I don't mind saving a couple steps today.
Okay, just finished up on Remy. I absolutely love this ride. I will say I don't think it's worth a super long wait because it is so short, but it's so much fun, especially if you love Ratatouille, and it is one of my favorite Pixar movies. It's just, I don't know, je ne sais quoi. I don't know what that means. I think I do know what it means. I think it means I don't know. I feel like there's a certain je ne sais quoi. Again, I don't speak French. However, I do like this ride. Definitely give it a try if you can. I wouldn't wait more than like 35, 40 minutes if you can help it, but if it's a must do, I completely understand. Now, this is where I'm kind of in a pickle because we can't backtrack today. My next land, still in the World Showcase, but within the World Showcase, there's only one other attraction back here that is like a ride attraction, and that is Frozen Ever After. There are several shows, but that's not it on our list today. So Frozen Ever After. However, the issue is I have about 40 minutes until my Frozen Ever After lightning lane starts. And that's not great for like if we do challenges, but this is really more of an experiment. So now is the perfect time for us to like chill, grab a snack, and if this is what you're doing when you're here in Epcot, this is a great time to just enjoy the festival and not stress too much about the next thing.
I love that at the end of the ride, they incorporate the animation of Finding Nemo into the real world of this huge aquarium that's at the exit of the Seas with Nemo and Friends. It's the second largest aquarium, second largest to Georgia in the country. And you can find manatees, sharks, fish, all kinds. And you can also find a little fun interactive show called Turtle Talk with Crush. It is live entertainment where you can actually ask Crush any kind of question that you want. It's about a 10-minute show. You meet a bunch of different characters, like potentially it changes every time, but Dory, the beluga whale. I forget what their names are, but they're from Finding Dory. But it's a great interactive show. Crush is always hilarious, really great with improv and because kids say some crazy things sometimes, so you gotta be able to roll with the punches there. We're actually headed to Journey into Imagination, and then we're gonna head to World Discovery. I feel really good about this. Definitely a moderate day from what I can tell, specifically because Remy's was still an hour long. Frozen was an hour long. I mean, so it's still a moderate day. But I think my game plan is to finish off Journey into Imagination, head over to World Discovery, Test Track, Mission Space, and then end my day in Mexico, ride through Caballeros, maybe a nice beverage to celebrate. That feels like a win. Journey into Imagination with Figment is a dark ride where the classic Epcot character, oh, wait a minute. It's down. Figment is down. Just look at me. That's karma. I went in so cocky and so confident, and now I've got to switch up my plans. Well, all right. Let's head to World Discovery.
Okay, so the best thing about Epcot, in my opinion, is the festivals. They are so incredible. They almost always have a festival going, and right now at the time of filming, it is the Food and Wine Festival, which is actually about to wrap up for Festival of the Holidays. So for my food today, because we do need to take a food break for this experiment, I'm gonna grab something from one of the festival booths that I really loved. So I'm gonna grab something from the Japan booth, just because I've already had it, I know, but I really enjoyed it. I grabbed the fire roll from the Japan booth. Now this is one of my favorite things that I have the whole festival. So I just wanted to grab this. This is more of a snack, but anything that you can grab from the festival booths are so delicious. If you want to see our full review of the Food and Wine Festival, you can check that out on the channel right now.
All right, we've had to adjust. We weaved, we dodged. That's what we do. It's important to know that at Disney World, things will go wrong. So go with a backup plan, because don't let it ruin your day. You got to go in there with some solid expectations, know that things will happen. So things did happen. Technology is never perfect. So we're gonna ride Mission Space. So Mission Space is about a 60-minute wait, but I was able to grab a last-minute lightning lane. Thank goodness for that modify tool. Mission Space is a motion simulator attraction where Disney worked with NASA to simulate what it's like to actually blast off into space. You are training to be the next astronauts to head to Mars or to head around planet Earth, depending on which mission you choose. You are each assigned different roles, and you will have 2 tasks to do, whether you're the pilot, the engineer, the commander, or the navigator. You've got assignments, you've got homework. Now, it is still more of a motion simulator ride than it is a video game where where you're flying the Millennium Falcon and you have tasks to do for that attraction as well. That's more of a video game. So don't worry if for some reason you hit the button late or you are with a young one who is scared to hit the buttons. The attraction will still happen the way that it's supposed to. Now I get to decide which one we're going to use our lightning lane for. The green mission or the orange mission, because in Mission Space there are 2 completely different missions. Now the reason that there are 2 different missions is because, as I mentioned, NASA actually did work with Disney to simulate what it's like to blast off into outer space. Orange mission is going to be the more intense mission. How it works is it's basically a big centrifuge and you spin around as quickly as possible to feel that G-force as if you're blasting off into space. So that's going to be your orange mission. That's going to be where you're blasting off because you're headed to Mars. Green mission, however, is the less intense mission where you just are headed for a light mission around Earth. You will still feel a little bit of G-forces, but it's going to be way less intense. But don't worry, it's still the only Disney attraction on both sides, both orange and green, to have little paper bags in case you've got to, relieve yourself from an oral standpoint. I just mean throw up. That's what I mean. Woo, pretty.
Okay, so I finished my snack. It was delicious. I'm very glad that that's what I went with, but I honestly feel like there's very few things that you could actually go wrong with when you're eating at a festival. Again, we have full coverage of every single festival up on the channel right now, and you can be sure that we'll have all of the new festivals out within a few days. It's so exciting, and honestly, again, my favorite part of Epcot. So now we're gonna head over to Norway. We have just a few minutes until our lightning lane starts. We have about 15 minutes, but fun fact, you can actually tap in about 5 minutes early, which is what we're gonna do. All right, and it's finally time for Frozen Ever After. If you have never been on this, it is a slow-moving boat ride that takes you through the story of Frozen after it happens. So you get to go up to Elsa's Ice Palace. There's a lot of friends that you're gonna see, like Sven and Kristoff and Olaf, and it's just a lot of fun.
Weren't a lot of people in
Attention astronaut candidates.
and I think I'm gonna beat my own team.
Less intense
There's
training.
no one here with
However,
me.
if you are made uncomfortable
No one,
by enclosed
just me.
spaces or simulators,
I am-
you may
I
exit
am
the
all
flight training
rules.
area now.
This is way more eerie than I thought it would be. Yeah, this is can I yeah this is so wild. This has never happened. This is Sage Starkey on Mission Space. Log number 1. I find myself feeling alone, deserted, and yet I know that the only path in front of me
Good luck,
is
team.
Yep.
All of us here at Mission Control wish you a safe journey
Thank you.
around the planet.
Got it. Thank you. Are you alone too? Alright, that's just me then.
It's going to be a challenging approach, and we'll need all of you working together.
Well, it's just me. What do you mean all of you?
Now,
Okay, it's just me though, so be aware.
initiate descent. Now.
Capcom! Capcom! If I can do it, you can do it. Follow your dreams. I'm not gonna lie. I probably had way more fun than I should have by myself on the. It's one of those things where, like, you know, we're told to be quiet because we don't want to bother, you know, any other guests around us. But with no other guests trapped in a dark closet, you can kind of say whatever you want. But I just checked. Journey into Imagination is still down. I'm hoping that it's not down for much longer, because I would hate to lose that attraction before our time runs out. But it is time for Test Track. Test Track is currently about an hour wait. But doesn't matter, because we are heading up that single rider line. Test Track is a high-speed thrill attraction where you design your own car and then you get to test it out. There are a couple different things about Test Track, single rider specifically. One, single rider line, you will be separated from your party. It is a great way to, you know, lessen your wait time, but you will be separated from your party. The other thing about the single rider line is that you will get a much shortened, abbreviated version of the design aspect of the ride. So you can still go to a design station to, you know, design a car, but you're gonna get a much simpler layout, less choices to choose from. But it is still there if you want to see how you do and test your car out for the actual attraction. And as of right now, Test Track is still the fastest ride in Disney World at 64.9 miles an hour on the outside track. Lots of fun and super Epcot, if you know what I mean.
Okay, finished up on Frozen Ever After. I love this ride. It just makes me want to sing and giggle. And this couple was sitting in front of me, and she clearly did not know that it went backwards. And so their reactions were just a lot of fun. I think it's a must-do, definitely. Now, when it comes to Genie Plus, this Lightning Lane goes really, really fast. Only this one and Remy really rival each other. They are definitely going to go the quickest. So if you're going to be using Genie Plus, I probably would make those my top 2 priorities for sure, but definitely well worth it. So now we have only 4 rides left. We're breezing, friends. We're breezing. Now we are going to head inside the Mexico Pavilion here to hop on Grand Fiesta Tour, starring Donald Duck. One of my personal favorites. It is a boat ride. Takes you through different spots in Mexico while you search for Donald, because they have a concert tonight, and frankly, they can't find him. So we're gonna go help find Donald and enjoy some air conditioning as well. Now, strangely, the line is all the way back out here. Hopefully that won't mess with us too much, because normally this one is a walk-on, but even then the queue itself is not super long, so I think we're all right.
I just checked again. Figment, Journey into Imagination, it is still down. We only have 30 minutes left of our experiment. So I don't think we're gonna be able to include Journey to Imagination in this experiment today, but that's okay. We have conquered so much today. We do have one more attraction still on our list, and that is the Grand Fiesta Tour over in Mexico. Let's head there now. We have made it to Grand Fiesta Tour, back in the World Showcase in the Mexico Pavilion. The Grand Fiesta Tour is a slow-moving boat ride where the 3 caballeros are on their way to their big concert in Mexico City. However, Donald is nowhere to be found. He's decided to explore Mexico, which leaves Jose and Panchito to desperately search for him. The Mexico Pavilion is, I think, my favorite pavilion, even more than the UK, which I love the pub, but I love the Mexico Pavilion specifically because I believe it's the most immersive. It's the only place that transforms the entire pavilion from daytime into nighttime. Plus, they have the my favorite bar in all of Epcot, La Cava del Tequila, which is their tequila bar where you can grab margaritas. They are a full bar, so it's not just tequila, but obviously tequila is their specialty.
Okay, wrapped up Grand Fiesta Tour. I love this ride. It holds a special place in my heart. I think it's a must do because normally the wait times are not long at all. It's simple, it's relaxing, and lots of kiddos like this one because Donald's on it. So lots of fun on this one. I only have one more world left. We're gonna head towards World Discovery, and that means we only have Test Track, Mission Space, and Cosmic Rewind. So I'm feeling really good about this, and I'm surprised I've not heard from Sage yet, but we'll see, because we only have 3 rides left.
Just to confirm, just to quadruple check, I did see that Journey into Imagination is still down. So I think we've hit every attraction that we possibly can today. That was on our list in 4 hours. That's a really good time. But just realized I still forgot to eat. I'm really bad at eating at the parks. So let's grab something to eat real quick. Let's grab Emma, and then we'll compare how we did and see if this experiment worked. So I got the yuca fries with the garlic aioli. It's one of my favorites. It's fried so well. Yuca is more of a root, but it simulates like an actual thicker steak French fry. With the garlic aioli and the salt, it just takes to a whole another flavor dimension. They're one of my favorites, so can't go wrong.
Okay, so I'm about to walk up to Test Track, but unfortunately I did just get a text from Sage saying that he finished everything. So that kind of makes the experiment complete. So I am not going to have to do World Nature, even though definitely gonna still ride Cosmic between you and me. But I honestly am really proud of this one. We'll talk more about it in a minute, but we only had 3 rides left and we weren't zigzagging at all, and this was a really chill, relaxing day. So not too upset, but let's go meet up with Sage and then we can talk about the differences.
That was not a bad day.
This was a great day actually, and the fact that I was only 3 away from tying with you compared to our Magic Kingdom experiment.
Yeah, I also
pretty
didn't
proud.
get Figment though because it was down.
Okay.
Still
well,
is down.
So then I'm feeling even better, to be honest.
So all right, let's look at our steps.
Oh, 7,729.
9,031 steps.
Okay, so I think that there's some evidence here. I think this is a worthwhile experiment.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Epcot specifically, the amount that you put out was the amount of rides that you rode.
Yeah.
Meaning, for an extra 1,000 steps a piece, I rode 3 more rides than you did.
Yeah. I also will say, like, I don't think you necessarily even have to do that. We did not rope drop today.
No.
We're finished before the park is closing. The only reason I think you might have to zigzag is if you want to see all of the shows.
Yes.
Which we don't even necessarily recommend doing.
So we're saying here specifically for Epcot, I would call this a moderate day, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be less than moderate. Do you need to crisscross, or would you go land by land?
I think land by land, for sure.
I agree too. Other than the occasional individual lightning lane that you might need to pop out of the land for,
Yeah.
I think it's okay to go land by land here.
Absolutely. Good job, friend.
If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe.
Now go check out the same crisscross challenge over in Magic Kingdom.
Bye.
We'll see you there. I have to go ride Cosmic.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay, let's
see you
go.
later.